Hello and welcome to Byju's IAS. Let's get started and look into our daily quiz. Let's look into the first question. Which of the following is or correctly matched? SciSat, NASA, ExoMars, European Space Agency, Parker Solar Probe, Canadian Space Agency, Hope Probe, UAE Space Agency. Which of the following are correctly matched? The answer to this is 2 and 4 only. Why? When it comes to SciSat, it is not being operated by NASA but instead it is by the Canadian Space Agency. This is a Canadian satellite designed to make observations of the Earth's atmosphere. So this will help the scientists understand what exactly is happening with the Earth's ozone layer, whether there is depletion which is excessive in nature or it is less over a period of time. This will be understood by the Canadian Space Agency, which happens to be SciSat, and it is not NASA. When it comes to ExoMars, yes, it is the European Space Agency which is monitoring it. This will address whether there has been existence of life on planet Mars. So that is about ExoMars. Then we have Parker Solar Probe again, which has been taken care not by Canadian Space Agency but instead it is by NASA. So what is this program all about? This was a NASA space probe that was launched back in the year 2018. What this mission will do is to make observations of the outer corona of the sun. And as we have discussed in the past as well, Hope Probe is taken care by the UAE Space Agency. Why have we taken this practice question? Because of the reference given under this article. Now let's look into the next practice question. The World Sustainable Development Summit is the annual flagship event of, is it SITES, is it the Energy and Resource Institute, the World Economic Forum, or is it the Commission on Sustainable Development? The answer to this is the Energy and Resource Institute. Why have we taken this practice question? Because of the reference given under this article. So kindly remember, when it comes to the World Sustainable Development Summit, this happens to be an annual summit, the flagship program of the Energy and the Resource Initiative. It is the Energy and Resource Initiative which has organized this particular summit, where all the global leaders who are important when it comes to the environmental concerns, the civil society, the head of state and government, scholars, corporates all come together on a common platform. What do they discuss about? They discuss about how the world can be reinvented in terms of sustainable development. So the theme of the summit is redefining our common future, safe and secure environment for all. So basically, this is one of the summits which will identify what are the problem areas when it comes to the environment, and it will try and address all these issues concerning sustainable development. So kindly remember, the World Sustainable Development Summit is organized by the Energy Resource Institute in Delhi. Now let's look into the next practice question. With reference to Unlawful Activities Act, which of the following statements is or correct? Under the UAPA, the investigating agency can file a charge sheet in maximum 160 days after the arrest, and the duration can be extended further after intimating the court. Next option, it empowers the government to designate the individuals also as terrorists. Third, any Indian or foreign national charged under UAPA is liable for punishment under this act irrespective of the location of crime and the offence committed. So which of the statements with respect to UAPA is correct? The answer to this is 2 and 3. Why? That is because under the UAPA, the investigating agency can file a charge sheet in maximum of not 160 days but instead it is 180 days. So do remember these important numbers because this can be very important from your preliminary examination. Earlier, when you look into the UAPA, it did not have this individual designation as terrorist, but amendments were made, and now what we have is that individuals can also be designated as terrorists. Earlier, you only had groups who were given a particular tag of terrorist organization, but the UAPA amendments introduced basically make sure that even a single individual can be put and barred as a terrorist. And finally, any Indian or foreign national, whether if he is committed a crime, irrespective of the place of crime, they can be booked under UAPA. Why have we taken this practice question? Because of the reference given under this article. So this article says only 2.2% of cases registered under the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act between the years 2016 and 2019 ended in convictions by the court, which means to say that there might be n number of people who would be booked under this particular law. They might be booked under the UAPA provisions as well, but only 2.2% people of all those of them who are arrested by the executive, only 2.2% are convicted by the court of law, says this article, which means that most of these who are arrested are not culpable under the provisions of UAPA. Further, in another reply, this article goes on to say as many as 96% were arrested for sedition, but only 2 were convicted and 29% were acquitted. Of the 93 cases of sedition, the charge sheet was filed in 40 cases of the same year. Again, this article goes on to say the number of people who were arrested by the executive under this very idea or the provision of sedition were comparatively more, but when it goes to the court of law, the ultimate conviction or they have been proved to be right is comparatively abysmal, says this article. Now let's look into the next practice question. Consider the following pairs. We have the mango and the state that this mango is grown in: Banganpalli, Andhra Pradesh; Alfonso, Maharashtra; Sindura, Tamil Nadu. Which of the above mangoes have been accorded GI tag? So these mangoes will have to be provided the GI tag and is also correctly matched with that particular state. So the answer to this is 1 and 2 only. Why? That is because yes, Banganpalli has been given the GI tag and this is grown in the state of Andhra Pradesh. When it comes to Alfonso, yes, this has been given the GI tag and it is grown in the state of Maharashtra. But when it comes to Sindura, it does not have any GI tag, but it is from the state of Tamil Nadu. Since the question is asking both for the GI tag and for the correct match, the answer will be 1 and 2. So do remember, when it comes to Banganpalli, it is from the state of Andhra Pradesh, and when it comes to Alfonso, it is from the state of Maharashtra, and both these mangoes have the GI tag. But when it comes to Sindura, it is not being given the GI tag, but it is from the state of Tamil Nadu. Why have we taken this practice question? Because of the mention of mango and its varieties in this article. Now let's look into the next practice question. With reference to period of Gupta dynasty in ancient India, the towns Ghantasala, Kadura and Chol were well known as: is it the port handling foreign trade, capitals of powerful kingdom, places of exquisite stone art and architecture, important Buddhist pilgrimage centers? What is the correct answer? The answer to this is ports handling foreign trade. So when it comes to Ghantashala, Kadura and Chol, these were the ports that were handling the foreign trade during the Gupta dynasty. This is taken from the previous year question of 2020. Now let's look into the fact of the day. What are we speaking about? The World Pulses Day. The World Pulses Day falls on February 10th every single year. It was established by the Food and the Agricultural Organization of the United Nations to recognize the importance of pulses. On the World Pulses Day, people make efforts to give an awareness to other people about the importance of the pulses in sustainable food production. With this, we have to understand the importance of pulses in general. When it comes to pulses, they have a lower carbon footprint. What do we mean by lower carbon footprint? It means the amount of fertilizers that which is required for the growth of pulses is comparatively less. And at the same time, they also have what is called as low water footprint, which means they can be grown in semi-arid conditions, they can tolerate drought-like conditions, and they also require very less water for the growth of pulses. And as a result, when it comes to pulses in general, they have lower carbon footprint and they also have lower water footprint as well. And at the same time, pulses are inexpensive, they are easy to store, they are highly nutritious food, and they have the ability to enhance the soil microbiome. That is the primary reason we celebrate what is called as the World Pulses Day every year annually on 10th of February by the Food and Agricultural Organization. In the present context, the Union Minister for Agriculture and Farmer Welfare has said in the past 5 to 6 years, the country has increased its pulse production over 140 lakh tons to about 240 lakh tons. He further has said that dependence on imports of the pulses has been reduced and the country is saving about 15,000 crores per year, says the agricultural minister. It is this that we have to understand with respect to the World Pulses Day. So this is it for today. Thank you for watching. All the best.